I agree with who well effect and whatnot, and that like even from owning a vinyl copy in itself, some pressings are rare. You find Uti artist did one album in the 70s, and you're looking for that artist, but you can only access that artist digitally, because if you're gonna look for an original pressing, it might cost you 10,000, and you don't have access to your another 10,000. How then do you have access to the music? So even from a point of some artists even today are not pressing, how then do you access those artists? How then do you translate those artists to whatever crowd you want to translate it to? It's an important aspect that we don't think about as well when I'm all by purist, that there's music that is out there, but it doesn't have pressings, or if there is a pressing, copyright is still with the family, and the family decides, now we're no longer pressing, we don't feel comfortable with this, there's only those 10 or 100 copies that were done in the 70s. How then do you access it if you don't have the 50 grand to buy the copy? You can't be a purist, not just from a digital standpoint, but just from that access economy and the social space that you're coming from as well. So then for you to be able to introduce this crowd to this music is by buying it online if it's accessible online, or downloading it if it's accessible. In terms of pricing, unless if in range, it doesn't go above 250. It's the style. We usually, it first starts out as a conceptual thing. We see what we want to achieve sonically as curators to listeners, and we want to create a sound that sort of flows. So our process is quite simple, in the sense that, especially when it comes to jazz, we choose a particular style. Like if we go with spiritual jazz, it will mostly have an African influence, a huge African influence, and we select our songs from that. Our artists based on the style of music, and that's our process. It's creating a story with something that's existing.
about how our brains evolved. For millions of years, our ancestors lived as hunter-gatherers on the savannas of East Africa. Survival favored those with brains that were good at identifying opportunities to promote good health and reproduction, like finding calorie-rich foods and fertile mates, and also good at identifying threats that increased risk of illness and harm, like avoiding dangerous plants and animals. Then, much like a single elimination tournament played out over millions of years, each generation had winners and losers based on these abilities. The winners were those that survived long enough to pass their genes on to the next generation, and the losers were eliminated. In this way, successive generations inherited increasingly refined survival brain software to detect things that are good for us and things that threaten us.
I think what Mazuli music is doing with reissues of some of the most obscure jazz artists, especially from the 70s and 80s in South Africa, is a very significant part of our musical history as a country, and to inform us of sort of where we come from, especially because of its sort of ancestral background as well. The incorporation of indigenous African sounds into jazz is something which is quite interesting. It sort of reveals the genius that is in African culture, And yeah, that's all I have to say.